Business Lesson 14, Successful Customer Service, Book 5, Business English. Article Part 2, page 105. Next level, customer service. There is only one boss in the business world. Whether you run a corporation, head the biggest organization in the world, or run a petty business to make a living, the boss remains the same, the customer. A customer is a person, artificial or natural, who determines the success of every business. A business can suffer setbacks because of customers' attitudes toward the business. In a strong saying, the customer can fire everybody, irrespective of their rank in the business. In other words, the customer is the reason for every business, and every positive step in business is for satisfying the customer. In the words of Sam M. Walton, CEO Walmart, there is only one boss, and whether a person shines shoes for a living or heads up the biggest corporation in the world, the boss remains the same. It is the customer. The customer is the person who pays everyone's salary and who decides whether a business is going to succeed or fail. In fact, the customer can fire everybody in the company from the chairperson, CEO, on down, and he can do it simply by spending his money somewhere else. Literally, everything we do, every concept perceived, every technology developed, and associate employed, is directed with this one objective clearly in mind, pleasing the customer. What customer service means? As already stated earlier, customer service means providing a quality product or service that satisfies the needs, wants of a customer, and keeps them coming back. Good customer service means much more. It means continued success, increased profits, higher job satisfaction, company growth, better teamwork, and improved market value. Take, for instance, think about organizations or malls you patronize. Apart from the normal products and services they render to you, do you always wish to do business with them? If yes, it is probably that they are courteous, timely, friendly, and interested in your affairs. It means that they not only satisfy your needs or wants, but also go as far as making you feel important and satisfied. On another note, how do you feel about places you have been to but have ceased to patronize? There are 3 elements, which you must consider to ensure effective customer service in your organization. The 3 key elements are: expand your definition of service. Who are your customers? Develop a customer-friendly approach. Expand your definition of service. The conventional definition of service to customers is limited to providing goods and rendering services in exchange for money. This understanding of service is very myopic and does not promote the relationship between a business and its customers. The definition of service in the business world should expand to accommodate more than providing goods and services in exchange for money. The meaning of service includes the satisfaction of the customer. In other words, after a business transaction with the customer, he/she should walk away pleased, happy, with the manner and outcome of the transaction. A happy customer will become a loyal customer and will promote your business by referring people as well as sticking to your services, even when there are changes in prices. Identify your customers. It is important to define customer service beyond the interaction between an organization and people who subscribe to their goods and services, external customers, but should include the employees, internal customer service. This is because the satisfaction of customers is a reflection of the employees. Therefore, the better the employees are treated, the better attend to the customers. The following quote in the Wall Street Journal article buttresses this point. Poorly treated employees treat customers just as poorly. It is the desire of every customer to have the quality products and best services that their money can provide. Satisfaction is what they want. Therefore, they desire something more than merely paying for goods and having them delivered to them. They desire to be cared for. They need someone who understands their needs and helps them pull through. Customer service entails listening to the customers and finding out what they need or want through polite questions. It also means understanding that a customer's problems need solutions. Therefore, there is a need for attentive listening. Good listening helps you to understand your customer, what motivates him or her, and know how best to attend to your problems. Develop a customer-friendly approach. The cliché, "the customer is always right," is derived from the friendly qualities needed to ensure effective customer service. It entails good communication and relationship to have a friendly customer service environment. These 2 requirements do not demand much effort and are not automatic either, but grow with time. The requisite professional qualities in customer service. Employees, who are in direct contact with customers, should possess certain qualities in order to serve them better. These qualities are very important to both the customer and the business. The professional qualities of customer service always relate to what the customer wants. They include friendliness, empathy, fairness, control, and information. Good information is often good service. Employees need to be empowered to satisfy customers. Employees will give bad service to customers if they themselves receive bad service and little feedback from their managers and supervisors. Remember, external customer service starts with internal customer. Article Part 3, page 106. Customer Service Etiquette, Making a Good First Impression. The salesperson of a business is like the face of the organization. This is because they are in direct contact with the customers. They create the first impression about the business to the customers. This makes it important for them to make a proper representation of the business to the customers by putting up a friendly impression on the customers. A good salesperson is most likely to establish a good rapport with potential customers. It is important to give that first and positive impression to the customers, as that will relax them and make them want to do more transactions with the organization. Thus the saying, "You may never get a chance to make a first impression." The following are ways you can create a positive impression. In-depth consideration of the customer's needs. Offering immediate and quick assistance. Personal responsibility for a customer. Quick problem solving for the customer. Friendliness. Calling customers by their names in conversations creates familiarity and a sense of belonging at the instance of the customer. Pleasant voice tone. Polite and courteous manners. Neatness. A genuine smile. The following can create negative impressions and you should avoid them. Ignoring a customer. Making the customer wait. Not answering the phone promptly. Not replying to emails promptly. Not saying courteous words like please and/or thank you. Speaking loudly or condescendingly to customers or colleagues. Making faces, frowning, acting distant, not smiling. Looking disheveled, or like you do not care about your appearance. A poor handshake. Saying outright no to a customer's request. Negative impressions are difficult to forget, and the consequence is almost impossible to cure. Therefore, it is important to give the best first impression. The customer's attitude does not matter. It is your attitude, which matters most. In addition to the qualities mentioned above, the following qualities are very important. Smiling. Customers feel relaxed and important when you greet them with a pleasant face, even when they have something to complain about. A smile and a polite approach to a customer disarm even the most hostile customer. Therefore, it is important for employees who deal directly with customers to possess this quality. Eye contact. It is important to maintain eye contact with a customer. It is not only an element of good listening, but also a sign that you are placing value on the customer. Appearance. We have discussed the concept of first impressions, and it is important to note that sometimes we communicate louder by our appearance than our spoken words. It is important to dress neatly and pleasantly, as well as in a professional manner, in order to command the desired respect and attitude from the customers. That is the reason for the saying, "You are addressed the way you dress." Unkempt and messy appearances are big turnoffs for anybody, more so the customers, and should be avoided. Firm handshake. There is a belief that the firmness of your handshake determines your confidence. Maintain a professional handshake when you shake hands with a customer. Active listening. Most times, customers want someone who can listen to them and understand what they need. A customer might have a problem and hurriedly demand another thing, which might be due to ignorance or a hasty decision, but it takes an attentive service provider to decipher what the customer actually wants and make the necessary recommendation to the customer. Attentiveness is very important when dealing with customers. Maintain a polite and pleasant tone. The tone with which you address the customers should be a pleasing and polite tone. Avoid raising your voice in frustration, disagreement, or anger, no matter how difficult or weary the customer may be. Gestures. It is important to buttress and emphasize your communication with the customer with gestures, hand movements. Personal space. Do not choke the customer with space. Endeavor to maintain an appropriate space and distance when dealing with the customer. Ensure that the space is formal and enough to prevent any invasion by a third party. Adequate space is important to make the customer feel secure and unthreatened. Maintain a good posture. Always maintain a good posture when dealing with customers. Posture is defined as slumping in a chair or leaning against a wall while interacting with a customer, are sure signs you are not interested in the customer. Your pose or posture should express attention, friendliness, and openness. Lean forward, face the customer, and nod to let them know you are interested. Observation is also very important. Notice how your customer behaves and what he/she reacts positively to while you are providing service. Note: these little things are very important in a business, as they can set the perception of the customer in the organization's favor or against the organization. Conversations over the telephone. Most of the conversation with existing and prospective customers is over the telephone. This makes the use of telephone and telephone etiquette very important in an organization. In a telephone conversation, the physical appearance and body language give way to tone and voice articulation. The messages you project to the customer over the phone depending on the tone of your voice and attitude. For example, a flat tone of voice says to the customer, "I am not happy here and would like to resign." Slow pitch and presentation say, "I am not interested in your services, but I just have to attend to you." A high-pitched, rapid voice says, "I am passionate and motivated." A loud voice says, "I'm angry, aggressive, and don't care about what you have to say." Telephone etiquette. Telephone etiquette is even and does not depend on individual or cultural differences. Most customers contact an organization for the first or last time through a telephone conversation. This makes for a friendly telephone conversation. It plays a significant role in customer relationships, but is less expensive and cost-effective. The following are examples of telephone responses. Answering the telephone. The way a company responds to a phone call tells a lot about its regard for its employees and customers. There is a need for you to use proper phrases when responding to a customer's phone call. A positive tone relays an impression and sets the customer-client relationship in the right direction. Give your name and make a short introduction where necessary, or anyone that comes first. "Hello, my name is Scott. This is ABCD Corporation." Or, "Hello, this is ABCD Corporation, and my name is XYZ. It is important to say the name of your company to save the customers the stress of asking if he/she is onto your company. It is also important to state your name, to help the customer comfortable. It also personalizes the transaction, as well as helps the customer to know who to hold responsible. The next question is to ask, "How may I help you?" This question creates a positive impression and helps the customer to unwind. Therefore, this is how you should respond to the customer. "Good morning. Thanks for calling ABC Corporation. My name is XYZ. How may I help you?" Troubleshooting. There are conducts that upset a customer. It is important to note that these conducts are avoidable. The following are some of such conduct, and what you should do when the circumstance arises. Putting a customer on hold. Instead of putting a customer on hold of your volition, inquire from him/her if can put them on hold. This is because some customers would not mind if you do that, while some other customers might pick offense when you do so. It is all about individual differences. Try also to tell the customer the reason for putting them on hold, and in the end, appreciate the customer's effort to hold on by thanking him/her. Ask the customer if you can put them on hold. Wait for them to say yes or no, and then explain it will only be for a short period. Transferring a call. Inquire from the customer if they mind being transferred. Make sure that you have their response, yes or no, before you put them on hold. Explain the reason for asking the customer. Taking a message. When one of your colleagues is absent and you have customers asking after them, explain their absence in a simple and positive light. Do not be too detailed or specific. Give a reasonable estimate of when they will return. More importantly, offer to help the customer with what he/she wants your coworker to do for them. This is because it portrays the company as a single person with different sections, and such an approach pleases and relaxes the customers. Avoid giving responses like, "A is sick and has traveled for an operation." Alternatively, "B has a date with his girl and would be back tomorrow." Such responses create a wrong and bad impression of the company. Ending the call. This is the final step in good telephone etiquette. A good customer service representative ends the call on a positive note, repeating the agreement you have reached over the phone and what you are going to do to help or serve the customer.
Hey, thanks for listening. We hope that you enjoyed another lesson of Uncle Sam's American English. These audios are synced with our 4-book series. Contact one of our professors or join our online course by visiting our Facebook page, Uncle Sam's International.